Hey guys, I'm filming a haul video for books that I've gotten. Sorry I look like crap. I didn't go to work today. I didn't take a shower today. I'm gonna go take a bath after I film this. So yeah, this is no makeup late at night. I think it's 12:20 right now, so yeah, I'm kind of gonna look like crap. But I just want to film a book haul of some books that I've gotten over the past couple of months. So I'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so these are going to be my history books. I am a huge history buff, so I don't really care. This one I just picked up today. It's Common Sense by Thomas Paine and Other Writings by him. This book I've always really bless you. I've always really loved Revolutionary War time period. That would be where I would go back in time to if I could, because I love that stuff. I will learn everything about it. So reading books by people back then, just I would buy every single book in that section at the bookstore. Here's another one that's kind of in the same era. It's Benjamin Franklin, his autobiography and other writings as well. He is Revolutionary War period, but he's not a huge activist like Thomas Paine was. But Benjamin Franklin is one of those men who everybody's heard of, and apparently he's had a very interesting life, and his autobiography is supposed to be one of the most sought after and one that you want to kind of compare to, because he's just very awesome. So there's that. This one, I've never read this book before. I'm 21 years old, and I'm probably the only person over the age of 17 in America who has not read this book. The Diary of Anne Frank. This was Jeremiah's copy, so it's all kind of icky. I had to tape this together before I filmed this. But yeah, I don't know why. When I was in 8th grade, we had a choice of reading this one or a different one, and this one was a little bit thicker. I think the other one was like that much. So I decided to read the other one instead. So I've just never read it. This next book is one that I don't know if I'll necessarily read. I got it more to just like have on hand and maybe pick up if I'm bored. It's Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. I think these are more of like boys' fairy tales, but I don't know. I picked it up. I thought it was good. I think classics are a good thing to have, so I don't know, I'm looking into it. It looks like I love the color of this book. Yeah, maybe that will be a good one. These next books are all by the same author. They're all by Philippa Gregory. She writes a lot of King Henry VIII time period novels. So these two, The Red and the White Queen, I'm sure you guys have probably heard of their parallel stories in that time period. I think they'll probably be good. Usually parallel stories are pretty good. They're just very different. And this one is The Constant Princess. I really don't know what this one's about. I just kind of got it because this one was like cheaper than a couple of other ones, and I didn't want to get a hardback, and I don't know. I don't really like reading hardback books. Is that weird? I'd rather like when I read, like, I prefer the page to like fold over like that. I don't know. But yeah, that one. Don't know if it'll be good or not, but we'll see. This one is called The Virgin's Lover. It's a story about when Queen Mary died and Queen Elizabeth I took over. Because when she took over, Sir Robert Dudley, he had a real wife, as opposed to a fake wife. But Robert had a wife before that, and he was kind of born from a good family that kind of went downhill. And when Queen Elizabeth took over, he did everything he could to get his family name back into where it was before, because apparently he did something that effed it over. So he ended up leaving his wife, Amy, to be with Elizabeth, and you just go through her point of view and how she didn't want him to go. And this one will be a little bit of a romance, which I think is good. A little bit of a fictional history as compared to just history over there. This next one, I'm sure everybody's read, but The Help by Catherine Stockett. I don't know, I've heard the book is really good. I've also heard the movie's really good. I've heard the movie's like a huge sop. But I just want to read the book because I like books a lot better than movies. Like, Harry Potter will never touch the movies. It's just, yeah, they're a million times better. But yeah, we'll see how I like The Help. I bet it'll probably be good. This next one looked really, really interesting. It's called The 19th Wife by David Ebershoff. Ebershoff. It's a story about back in 1875-ish when Mormonism's polygamy was very accepted, where a man could have 19 wives. And there's this story about one woman who, what is her name? Anne Eliza. She decides to break away from the Mormon society, and she becomes like this huge outcast and things like that because she was actually Brigham Young's, at least as from what I understand, she was actually one of Brigham Young's wives. And she just decides to leave because she doesn't agree with it, and just go through her whole point of view of being an outcast and things like that. And I thought this would be really interesting. Polygamy is personally one of those things I don't believe in. I just don't think that a man should be okay with having that many wives. It is the epitome of accepting a man can hook up with a bunch of girls, but a girl doesn't and she's a whore. That kind of a thing. So that's why I don't agree with it. But it's just my opinion. But I think this one is going to be a really interesting read. Maybe put some things to perspectives and maybe kind of change my opinion. You never know. But yeah, this one is going to be a good book. I can already tell. This next one I've had for a while. It's called Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides. I don't know. It's a story about how a girl growing up thinks she's a girl. Turns out that she has testes inside of her, as in testicles. She is part boy. So how Callie kind of has to morph into Cal. Just go through that point of view. This is going to be one that I'm going to read in the summer, when I'm drinking coffee in the morning on my porch. Because for me, summer reads are not, like, really girly, summery, flip-floppy books. They're books you need to pay attention to. That's why you read, is to learn something. So, yeah, but this one won a Pulitzer Prize. Well, he did. So I think this will be a good one. But we'll see. This next one, I've actually already read this, but I just want to talk about this book because I absolutely love it. It's called Her Fearful Symmetry by Audrey Niffenegger. She also wrote The Time Traveler's Wife. This book is just so good. I read it in 2 days. It's a story about twins whose mom is also a twin. And the mom's twin lives in England, and the mom's twin, I'm just going to call her the aunt dies. And she leaves the daughters her apartment in England that she owns. And she told them that they can live there for a year. Well, they have to live there for a year before they can sell it or decide to live there forever or whatever. They have to live by themselves. Their parents can't come with them. And the apartment is also conveniently located next to Highgate Cemetery, which is a very, very famous cemetery in England. And this book has so many different perspectives. It has a perspective of the twins, the aunt who comes back as a spirit, the husband of the aunt who died, and then this random neighbor who lives upstairs who is very, very, very OCD. He cannot leave his apartment. He works from home. He's like a paper guy. I don't know. But I just thought this book is just so good. Like I said, I finished it in 2 days, but I think part of the reason why I connected to it more is because the twin daughters, They're mirror twins, like my twin and I, which literally, like, you are complete opposites. My twin and I, we are not as dramatic as in the book, because in the book they're literally so opposite that one of the twins' organs are on other sides, and she has like respiratory problems and things like that. We don't have that, but like, she was born left-handed, my grandma made her right-handed. Our parts of our hair are on different sides, things like that. So this book caught my attention, and also they just happened to have the same birthday as me and my twin. So yeah, but I love this book. I wish this book would be made into a movie, because I would totally buy it. Oh, here's some of the people who were born or buried at Highgate Cemetery. Christina Rossetti, George Eliot, Stella Gibbons, and luminaries. I don't know what a luminary is. Yeah, but I love this book. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. Out of all the books I've ever read, this is one of my favorites. But I guess I'll stop blabbering. These are all the books I'm going to be planning on reading within the near future. So let me know if you guys read any, and I will talk to you later. Bye.